It's a beautiful night for baseball. And live from Turner Field in Atlanta, Sportsnet LA presents the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves in Game 3 of this 4-game series. Hi again, everybody. Charlie Stoner, Oral Hershiser. Nomar is back in Boston, busy being inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame with pretty good company. Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez. Meanwhile, back in Atlanta, the Dodgers begin the night a season-high 17 games over 500, have the largest division lead in the National League, 6 in front of San Francisco, the Major League's best road record at 39-25, and it's been a terrific road trip so far. Last night with the Dodger win, one of the weaknesses of this club so far this season, the bullpen, certainly not last night. The final 3 innings, Wilson, Howell, League, and Jansen. No runs, no hits, just 1 walk.
You know what? This bullpen started the year with specific roles. You thought Brian Wilson would have the 8th. You thought maybe Chris Perez would have the 7th, and then others would mix and match. Well, now this bullpen is a mix-and-match bullpen. They get outs, but they get them according to who Don Mattingly thinks can get the guy out. J.P. Howell has been a consistent piece all year. You can use him anywhere. Brian Wilson has the batters that he can get out. Brandon League will probably be the guy that gets most overlooked and underappreciated. But Kenley Jansen at the end of the game has been the savior and the closer. He is the rock of the bullpen, and this bullpen has given Don Mattingly and Rick Honeycutt now an awful lot of confidence.
And one of the Dodgers' big 3, Hyun-Jin Ryu, gets the start tonight. In his last 5 starts, an ERA of under 2, and opposing hitters are hitting under 200.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, and you know what? He can get overlooked as far as a rotation piece. You think about Clayton Kershaw, MVP race, Zach Greinke with his 12 wins. Well, Ryu is about to join the major league leaders if he wins the night with 14 wins. That matches what he had last year, and last year he was more of a fastball changeup pitcher. This year, with the addition of the new toy, and we should call it a weapon, the slider that Clayton Kershaw has taught him, he is absolutely amazing.
So it's going to be Ryu and Irvin Santana as we get ready for the 3rd game of this 4-game series from Turner Field. Going to take a break. When we come back. Lineups in first pitch on a beautiful night for baseball.
everyone, as fans make their way into Turner Field here in Atlanta as they get ready to take in Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. Welcome inside Turner Field, everybody. I'm Alana Rizzo. A win tonight would guarantee another series win for the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2014. We always hear so much about the Dodgers offense, as we should, but the guys on the hill have been getting the job done as well. I'm talking about the fact that the Dodgers have hitting pitchers. Hey, they are athletes too. 157 average, which doesn't seem like much, but as far as pitchers are concerned, it's second in the National League, only behind the Chicago Cubs. They have reached base safely in 5 straight games, a 556 average, 5 for 9 in fact, an RBI and 3 runs scored. Hyunjin Ryu on the hill tonight, 6 hits so far and 2 doubles, and also an RBI from the Dodgers left-hander. Looking to continue the dominance. The Dodgers have already beaten the Braves 5 times this season, looking to make it 6. When we come back, Charlie Steiner and Oral Hershiser on the call. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Tonight, 5.5 in front of San Francisco. The Giants wallop the White Sox this afternoon at AT&T, 7-1. Nonetheless, the Dodgers a season-high 17 games over 500. The wind is blowing in tonight, and so that probably should help both pitchers. Irvin Santana for the Braves, and of course Hyunjin Ryu for the Dodgers. And here's the lineup that Don Mattingly is putting out tonight. With D. Gordon back in the saddle, Yasiel Puig, Adrian Gonzalez batting third. Then it's Kemp, an 8-game hitting streak, and Carl Crawford has been red hot over his last 7. Uribe at third base, Ellis behind the plate, Rojas at shortstop, Hyunjin Ryu pitching and batting ninth, and the one-time Angel 31-year-old Irvin Santana making his 23rd start of the year. An ERA of roughly 3 2/3, and opposing hitters hitting .257 against him.
He got a W in his last time out, actually had a no-hitter to the 4th, breezed through 5, but then in the 6th gave up a 3-run homer and gave up 4 runs. The Dodgers will have to go against a tough guy, throwing about 92. The out pitch is an 83-mile-an-hour slider, also has a slow curveball but rarely throws it, and a changeup.
So the Dodgers every bit as hot as the Braves have been cold. Atlanta has lost 11 of their last 13, 7-16 since the All-Star break, and so Freddie Gonzalez feeling a bit of heat The Braves are 5 games behind the Washington Nationals as play begins tonight, in just a game over 500. Defensively behind Santana tonight, it'll be Chris Johnson. Most importantly for Atlanta, Andrelton Simmons missed the last half dozen games with a bad ankle at short. Phil Goslin at second base, Freddie Freeman at first. The Upton brothers in left and center, Jason Hayward in right, and Evan Gattis is behind the plate as Dee Gordon steps into the batter's box on just a gorgeous night. 82 degrees. Relatively speaking, for Atlanta this time of year, humidity free. Gordon takes high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. D at 286 with 130 base hits. He is 7th in the National League in base hits. Making inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Santana in 144 innings, 128 strikeouts. He has walked but 43. Gordon takes a strike. It's 2-1.
Dee Gordon and Sean Figgins still talk regularly, even though Sean is not on the team. And one of the things they continue to talk about on the phone is Dee getting more walks.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Dee more of the type that loves to hit, and Sean was one that really hitting came secondary. Recognizing a ball and a strike was the way he approached the offensive part of the game.
Figgins designated for assignment. Now the 2-2. Ball strike 3. From 2-0 to the called third strike.
Santana had faced Dee 4 times prior to this, and Dee had gotten 2 hits. 1 was a strikeout. Now it's 5 times, and 2 are strikeouts. Fastball in the inner half, tailed back. Evan Gattis framed it nicely.
And Mark Ripperger, the home plate umpire, vacation reliever out of Escondido. Calling balls and strikes tonight. Puig swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Yasiel Puig at 309. He's the 5th leading hitter in the National League. And since the All-Star break, hitting .310 with a .395 on base percentage, and Santana quickly ahead, 0-2. The Dodgers have won all 5 meetings from the Braves this year, sweeping Atlanta at Dodger Stadium, winning the first 2 of this 4-game series. And these 2 teams will wrap it up at noon tomorrow local time, and Puig is down on strikes.
Braves have decided that Yasiel Puig is a low ball hitter. They have been pitching him up continuously, but not this slider. This is the out pitch of Santana. That ball backed up on Yasiel. Santana wanting to go low and away with that pitch, left it up and backed it up. And going with the fastball up. Most of these Braves have against Yasiel.
Adrian Gonzalez, 353 since the All-Star break, and on the trip even better than that, 11 for 24, which translates into a .458 batting average. Gonzalez the night off last night. Rojas had the night off last night, as did Dee Gordon. And the Dodgers were able to prevail, beating Atlanta 4-2. 1-1 to Adrian Gonzalez with his 80 RBIs this year. He is 2nd in the National League. Kemp on deck. Only right field now, emblazoned by sun, as Gonzalez takes outside 2-1. So for the next 15-20 minutes, Hayward and the Dodgers' Matt Kemp will have sun issues to deal with. Two balls, 2 strikes. Santana off to a good start. Gonzalez not in agreement with home plate umpire Ripperger.
94 up and away, but called a strike.
Three balls and 2 strikes.
The disgust in the called strike the pitch before might have helped Adrian right there. This one is very close. The veteran gets the call.
So it's 3-2 to Gonzalez with 2 out of the top of the first. Santana strikes out the side. Hyun-Jin Ryu getting ready for his 23rd start of the year. He'll be facing Hayward, Goslin, and Freddie Freeman in the bottom half of the first. A 32-year-old right-hander from the Dominican. And here's Freddie Gonzalez, his fourth. Here's the manager of the Braves, and here's the lineup he's put together tonight. Jason Hayward certainly has been hot in August, certainly not your prototypical leadoff hitter. Goslin and Freeman, followed by Justin Upton, Evan Gattis, and Chris Johnson, a .432 hitter against lefty pitching. Andrelton Simmons back in the lineup at short, B.J. Upton in center, and Santana pitching and batting ninth. And here is Ryu, his first pitch of his 23rd start is smacked to center field, and Puig is right there. One pitch, one out.
A lot of breeze on that fly ball to center.
Defensively behind Ryu tonight, outfield is been fairly consistent. Crawford, Puig, and Kemp. Uribe at third. Rojas again at short. A night off last night, as Gordon had one off as well. Gonzalez at first base. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. So Hyun-Jin Ryu at 13-5 at a 3.21 ERA. In his last 5 starts, he has surrendered with 7 earned runs in 39 innings. At a call strike to Phil Goslin, a .231 hitter, who spent a good portion of this year at AAA, where he had an outstanding line. No balls and 2 strikes. In 96 games in Gwinnett, hitting .344 with 5 triples and 58 runs scored. But Ryu quickly ahead, 0-2. Ryu's first strikeout.
If you like strikeouts, you should come to tonight's game. That's 4 so far in the game. We've only had 5 hitters. Ryu does it on a high curveball right here. Big break, but not the best of locations other than getting it in under Phil's hands.
4 pitches, 2 out, and Freddie Freeman coming up. Freeman at .288. Takes a strike, and it's 0-1. 16 home runs and 64 runs batted in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Freeman has been real hot the last 6. And hitting .389 over his last 9. And Ryu at the moment is a strike-throwing machine.
He's attacking. He's got fastball working, slider the last couple pitches, and the changeup. Thrown 1 curveball. That was the strikeout of the last hitter.
Count holds at 1-2 with Justin Upton on deck.
Ryu on a personal 4-game winning streak, and the ball club on a 5-game winning streak in his last 5 starts. They've won them all.
Looking for his 14th win of the year. Into left field, Crawford can't get it. Drops in for a hit. A 2-out single to left for Freddie Freeman, first base runner of the game.
Freddie has a tendency to go to left field when he is facing a left-handed pitcher, and that fastball waiting as long as possible to make sure it's a strike, and then Freeman puts the short, quick stroke on it and gets it to fall in front of Carl Crawford.
So the 2 first basemen. As Justin Upton steps to the plate. Upton with 21 home runs, 4th in the league, and 69 runs batted in, ranks 5th in that category. But he, like most of the Braves, strikes out a lot. Upton ranks 7th in the league, having been fanned 124 times, and takes a strike, gets nothing in 1. Hyun-Jin Ryu, with a win tonight, would join Willie Peralta, Clayton Kershaw, Johnny Cueto, and Adam Wainwright as the only 14-game winners in the league. The 0-1 is high.
Upton has had 8 at-bats prior to this against Ryu, and he's got 3 hits, 375 clip.
Evan Gattis on deck, scoreless, 2-out bottom of the first. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Justin Upton. He's made life miserable on the Dodgers this year. Outfield deep and straight away. The 1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Kemp, Crawford, Uribe to bat in the second, scoreless from Atlanta.
Irvin Santana will face Matt Kemp, Carl Crawford, and Juan Uribe as the Dodgers hope to get a run or 2 on the board. Welcome back, everybody. You heard Charlie Steiner talking about how well Adrian Gonzalez has performed since the All-Star break, a .353 average coming into the game, and it just isn't the first baseman making noise after the Midsummer Classic. You can see there Matt Kemp, who's going to be leading off this inning for the Dodgers, a .330 average, the on-base percentage of 400, and a slugging percentage of almost 600. Yasiel Puig, .310 average on-base percentage, nearly 400. These 3 guys making an impact, you guys, offensively for this club.
So the middle of the lineup has been producing for the Dodgers, who've won 3 in a row, 6 of their last 8, and 5-2 on this road trip. And here's Kemp with an 8-game hitting streak, taking a bender for a strike, and it's nothing in 1. Kemp with 14 home runs and 53 runs batted in. Since the break, he's 3rd in the National League in home runs and RBIs. The 0-1 is high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Since the All-Star break, Matt Kemp 6 home runs and 18 runs batted in. On the year, 14 homers and 53 RBIs. One and two to Matt Kemp. Quick turnaround for these clubs. Right back tomorrow. First pitch a little past noon local time, a little after 9 o'clock back on the West Coast. It'll be Roberto Hernandez making his second start for the Dodgers against the one-time Dodger Aaron Harang. And the Dodgers will fly home tomorrow immediately after the game in a weekend series with the Brewers back at Dodger Stadium. Friday night, a 6:10 start on Saturday, 1:10 Sunday afternoon. Kemp, did he check his swing? Yes. Says first base umpire Lance Barksdale. 3-2 to Kemp, beginning the second inning.
You be the umpire. That's a good check swing.
Crawford on deck, Uribe to follow. 20th pitch of the game from Santana. Into right field. Hayward's got a long way to go, and it is off the base of the wall. Kemp is on his way to second base, and he arrives with a stand-up double. His 25th of the year. So Matt Kemp continues this relentless tear.
First and foremost, you know Matt Kemp is swinging a hot bat when Don Mattingly puts him into the 4-hole. And when he is in the 4-hole, the Dodgers are 16-7 when he starts there. That shows you how impactful his bat is, and that sets the table, that double for this inning.
Kemp batted third last night for only the second time. In the cleanup spot, he has fared well, and the Dodgers their first base runner. And Carl Crawford coming up, and Crawford first pitch swinging. Fouls it off to the left. It's 0-1. Crawford really heating up of late. 6 for 8 in the first 2 games of the series.
Carl really should try and work the right side of the field here and get Matt Kemp to third.
Fastball crackles inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the road trip, Crawford is 11 for 25 and 8 for his last 12 overall. No score, just beginning the top half of the second. The Braves have been a struggling team. The Dodgers have beaten them all 5 meetings this year. Last year, Atlanta took 5 of 7 from the Dodgers, but of course the Dodgers won the division series from the Braves 3-1. Freddie Gonzalez. 2 balls and a strike. Uribe on deck and A.J. Ellis to follow.
Here's a pitch where Carl can really look for it in his happy zone. A good hitter's count, 2-1 with no out and a man on second. Wanted to get the head of the bat out and pull the ball.
2-1. Looks like that's going to drop in for a base hit, and as it does, Kemp is on his way home without a throw. An RBI single for the red-hot Carl Crawford. The Dodgers draw first blood, 1-0. Crawford at first, nobody out. Top of the second.
Santana had Carl out in front. You see them reaching for that ball, but has enough of the swing left to hit through it and guide this ball into center field. The ball wasn't crushed, but it was hit in the right place, and because it was hit like that, Matt Kemp scored easily.
You were talking about Carl Crawford on the pregame tonight about how many hard-hit balls that have resulted in outs. Well, that was an IOU, wasn't it?
Yeah, leads near the top of with the club on percentage of balls hit hard.
And now he's beginning to get some results. For Crawford, his 26th run batted in. Juan Uribe has 35 RBIs. He's been flirting with 300 all year. A.J. Ellis on deck. The Dodgers this year, when scoring first, are 52-16. The Braves, when the opposition scores first, are 23-45. Ervin Santana thought he was going to get a huge payday over the winter. Didn't work out that way. Well, he did, all things being equal. He thought it was going to be a big, long monster contract with somebody. He had to settle for, I don't know, about $14 million for 1 year. We should all have such heartbreak. But he signed a 1-year contract with Atlanta. And with all the injuries to their rotation, he has certainly been well worth the money spent. Uribe fouls it back. 2-1.
He's been a pitcher that a lot of people have said, wow, he should have outstanding numbers someday, but the someday has not really always come. Inconsistency and injury have plagued a lot of his career.
Santana came up with the Angels in 2005. Last year in Kansas City, a record of 9-10, but an ERA of just 3.25. 10th big league season, lined into left field for a base hit. Juan Uribe continues his hot hitting. So the Dodgers' first 3 batters here in the second, all have produced hits. Crawford's at second, Uribe's at first, and Ellis is coming up.
Juan has really worn out that 6-hole over there between short and third. He's turned on some breaking balls and hit him over there. That one was an up fastball that he got the head out on.
Had 2 hits last night, did Uribe. And here comes A.J. Ellis. Continues to struggle offensively. Hitting 181. Takes a strike, 0-1.
It's not a bad grouping to go hit and run if the count gets to a place for Don Mattingly, maybe 1-1 or 2-1. Carl Crawford, a speedster, the lead runner, and Juan Uribe will get a good jump at first because they'll playing behind him, of course, with first and second.
Ellis takes low, 1 ball, 1 strike for A.J. on the road. 2 for 22.
This could be a very much an action pitch right here.
One ball, 1 strike. Dodgers with the early lead, threatening for more here in the second. Line drive, 1 hop, short hop. Beautiful play by Johnson. Out at second, on to first, double play. Now you know you're hitting into rotten luck and you're having a bad time as Ellis just smoked it. And Johnson with a short hop pick. 5-4-3 double play. Crawford goes to third, 2 out.
Very well hit by A.J., and he has been hitting in hard luck. He is snake bit right now. Nice play by Johnson right here. Goslin does not have to make a quick turn. A.J. is still in the box. Hardest hit that ball was. There were multiple ways to get 2 right there for Johnson. He could have stepped on the bag, thrown to first, or he went the long way and went around the horn.
Well, here's Rojas. And Miguel takes a strike, 0-1. There is a helicopter watching the game from above. Through the middle into center field for a base hit. Miguel Rojas with his 8th RBI of the season, scoring Carl Crawford, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead.
2 of the Dodger hits have not been hit real hard, but they've both been away, and both Dodgers have had enough swing left to hit it firmly enough to get it out there in the outfield grass. Carl Crawford hit one out there that hit it in the air, and Miguel Rojas sneaks one through on the ground.
So Santana struck out the side in the first on 14 pitches, and the Dodgers have come up with a couple of runs and 4 hits. They get 5 hits as Hyun-Jin Ryu single. On his way to third is Rojas, and he slides in safely. The Dodgers hitting pitchers, as Alano was talking about before the game, everybody's on fire.
Second in the National League in pitchers hitting to the Cubs, and they are really swinging the bat. The 2 newcomers have swung the bat really well. Clayton Kershaw got a hit and an RBI the other night. And now Ryu joins the hit parade with Rojas sliding safely into third.
Now 6 games in a row in which the Dodgers starters have had at least a base hit. For Ryu, his 3rd RBI of the season. And Gordon takes a strike, 0-1.
This is where D. Gordon puts a lot of pressure on the Atlanta infield. With a man on third and 2 out, the infield hit can score an RBI, the bunt.
And Gordon has 39 infield hits, but this will not be his 40th. However, the Dodgers come up with 5 base hits in the 2nd inning. A Kemp double, a Carl Crawford single, and Miguel Rojas would single home a run. So the Dodgers and Ryu sitting pretty as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Singleton scored a run in this 2nd inning. Come out to Dodger Stadium on Sunday, August the 24th. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers hosts David Wright and the Mets at 1:10. First 40,000 fans in attendance will take home a Matt Kemp figurine presented by New Era. For tickets and more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Matt Kemp is hot. Crawford is hot. Uribe a base hit, Rojas an RBI single, and Ryu's got a 2-0 lead to work with as we go to the bottom of the 2nd, and Evan Gattis will be leading it off. He don't need no stinking hitting gloves. He takes a strike, it's 0-1. Throwback. 17 home runs. The early right-handed hitter to center field. Weed misjudged it, and it bounces high off the wall. And Gattis arrives at 2nd base. Weed momentarily was frozen, then took a step in, and then realized, whoops, time to retreat.
We've talked about the visuals here during this series for the outfielders, and Yasiel did not pick that ball up very well, and it was one that could deceive you as hard as Gattis hit it. Did an awesome job playing the wall and getting it in quickly, but Gattis got there very easily to 2nd base.
It's Evan Gattis bobblehead night tonight. And he presents his adoring fans with his 15th double. Chris Johnson, nobody has a higher batting average in the National League against left-handers than Johnson, who's batting .432 against southpaws this year. Overall, .271.
Tells me that Johnson handles the changeup away very well.
Squares to bunt, and Ryu will throw to first base. Gattis goes to 3rd.
a very odd sacrifice for a guy who's hitting so well against lefties, and you're down by 2 and it's early. You'd think you'd want to build an inning with possibly swinging the bat. Does a nice job getting the bat at the top of the strike zone, keeping the angle and pushing it to first base. If anything, he was going to try and push that ball by Ryu because D. Gordon was playing so deep and up the middle, but didn't get the ball hit firmly enough.
Well, the other side of the coin, Atlanta has not hit a lick since the All-Star break, averaging barely 3 runs a game. Andrelton Simmons missed a half dozen games with a sprained ankle. Simmons is one of the few guys in the Atlanta lineup that is hard to strike out. 394 at-bats, 39 strikeouts. The Braves ranked 13th in the league in strikeouts. They've been fanned 1,014 times, about 8.5 times a game. Ryu has 115 strikeouts and just 25 walks. The Dodgers starter strikeout to walk ratio has been sensational all year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryu pitching with an extra day's rest, and when he does, 5 days rest, his record since coming to the Dodgers is 17-5. A 1-2. On 4 days rest, 10-8 and an ERA of 3.5. So Ryu in Korea was used to pitching once a week.
Exactly, once a week back then. His body is used to that. Rick Honeycutt and Don Mattingly take note of that, of course.
Of those 21 pitches he's thrown, 17 for strikes so far. And now it's 3-2.
Ryu trying to get Simmons to chase. He has not been in the starting lineup. Simmons for the last 6 games for Atlanta. Hurt his ankle against Seattle. This is his first start in a while.
Jammed his ankle on a play at third base, receiving a throw. The 3-2. Do it again. B.J. Upton is on deck. Alana on the rest and the rotation. Ryu on the hill tonight.
Well, we were talking just about the extra day of rest. You guys were just talking about that, and of course that's why Kevin Correa making the spot start to give Dan Herron and the rest of the guys a day of rest. We asked Don Mattingly earlier today whether or not he would consider a 6-man rotation with the addition of Kevin Correa. He said no, because basically, guys, as you know, 6-man rotation means you have a 6-man bullpen, so you're leaving yourself short on a daily basis. He said maybe you could get away with it in the American League, but he's certainly not willing to entertain it here in the NL.
Roberto Hernandez will start tomorrow, so the Dodgers with 2 newcomers. And one of the things that Ned Colletti was saying prior to the trade deadline, he wanted a back end of the rotation starter. Gordon goes to first as Gaddis comes home, and Atlanta's on the board. It is 2-1. They wanted a back end of the guy rotation in Roberto Hernandez, and beefing up the bullpen, they got Kevin Correa to basically take the place of Paul Mahalo.
And both have done outstanding jobs since they've been here, and the extra day's rest for Ryu hopefully will do him well, and has a lead 2-1 here now with Atlanta.
B.J. Upton. So Freddie Gonzalez, his team has been struggling for runs lately. In fact, on the year, they ranked 13th in runs scored out of the 15 teams in the league. He just wanted to get a run on the board. He got the leadoff double from Gaddis. Johnson would sacrifice Gaddis to third in the infield outfielder's choice. Simmons the RBI, and Atlanta trails by 1. 2-0 to Upton. 2-1.
I'd be surprised if Freddie put the actual bunt on. That Chris Johnson did that on his own, trying to get him over to third some way, bunt for a hit, get the ground ball to the right side. But they built the inning and got half the lead back.
2-2. Atlanta First game on Monday night, 2 runs and 6 hits. Last night, 2 runs and 6 base hits. And tonight, a run and 2 base hits. Braves have really been struggling, having lost 11 of their last 13. Breaking ball, strike 3. B.J. Upton has been struck out for the 149th time this year. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. Puig, Gonzalez, and Kemp going to bat in the 3rd. With Puig, Gonzalez, and Kemp coming up. And join us for the next episode of Backstage Dodgers as we go inside the dugout with the boys in blue during the Freeway Series. Don't miss the brand new episode of Backstage Dodgers Thursday at 7 o'clock right here on Sportsnet LA. Giants won today, so at the moment the Dodgers 5.5 in front of San Francisco. Giants will be off tomorrow. The Phillies visit up at AT&T Park over the weekend on Friday. An interesting pitching matchup. Cole Hamels and Madison Bumgarner, 2 of the best left-handers in the game. Dodgers, of course, have the best. Yasiel Puig will lead it off. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Santana, his 37th pitch, is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Struck out the Dodgers in order in the first inning.
A rarity right there, throwing a first pitch ball. 7 of the first 10 hitters he's faced got a strike on them. 5 were called. Hitters taking a good look at him.
1-1 to Puig. 13 home runs and 56 runs batted in. Held hitless last night for the first time in his career against Atlanta, but still .463 lifetime against the Braves. Out of play. Outside, 2-2. They play Puig in the outfield to hit the other way. There is an enormous amount of real estate between Justin Upton in left and B.J. Upton in center. Called third strike. Second time Puig is down on strikes. That's the 4th punch out for Santana.
Yasiel got struck out on a slider in his first at bat. This slider is a called strike. The other one was a backup slider that was high. Trying to be disciplined on that outside part of the plate, but Santana dotted one out there on him.
Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Gonzalez struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Adrian on the trip, .458, 11 for 24. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, 3 doubles. Dodgers 2-1. One out, top of the third. Into the glove of Freeman, 2 out.
Adrian has 5 multi-hit games when he has started in his last 5. Last night he got an at-bat and grounded out. Going to break that string. That ball right there was scorched, but for an out.
Here comes Kemp. Doubled and scored a run in his first at-bat. With the double, he extends his hitting streak to 9 games. He has enjoyed his time on the road, as have the Dodgers as a group. Dodgers the best road record in baseball, 39-25. Kemp on the trip is now 9 for 29. Nothing in 2.
Matt didn't like that. He thought that ball was inside. Hate that 0-1 strike call. That's borderline. Really feel like it puts you in a huge hole. Now down 0-2.
5th strikeout for Irvin Santana. Nothing across for the Dodgers. In fact, Santana will be leading off for the Braves when we come back for the bottom of the third. Atlanta 1 run and 2 base hits, and their pitcher Irvin Santana will lead it off. Jason Hayward and then Phil Goslin. Santana 6 out of 48. He has struck out 20 times in his 48 at-bats. Takes outside. Santana squares. He's had 6 sacrifices, so it looks like he can bunt a little bit. And it's a ball and a strike.
He's just taken right now for those 2 pitches.
So it looks like he's doing something.
Exactly.
1 and 2.
He doesn't look very confident up there, but he's swinging it.
Ryu with 3 strikeouts on the night as Santana fouls it off to the right. So the Dodgers' big 3. Kershaw, Greinke, and Ryu. That wasn't fair. That's the 4th strikeout.
Very rarely does a guy start smiling before he swings and misses. I think the smile started actually really close to before he swung and missed. This ball's coming in there. Oh, look at it. He's got the tongue and the smile right away. Simultaneous.
He missed the bubble.
I told you he didn't look very confident. He looked relaxed, but not confident.
Now he can relax. Hayward takes a strike and is 0-1. So already 4 strikeouts. Of the first 7 outs recorded by Ryu. Hayward, little chopper. 2 out. It's been a long time since the Atlanta Braves have had a pure leadoff hitter. And so they've been kind of mixing and matching, and Hayward is doing it now because, frankly, there's nobody else. They would love to have had B.J. Upton be that guy.
The days of Brett Butler and Otis Nixon and those kind of guys are gone right now.
Rafael Furcal. One ball and no strikes to Goslin, who struck out in his first at-bat. And now the Braves are in search of a second baseman. Douglas simply didn't work out. Didn't work out in San Francisco after about 10 days out there. LaStella is playing a lot of second base these days, but he's a left-handed hitter, and against Ryu, Freddie Gonzalez opted to start young Mr. Goslin. 3-1.
They bit the bullet on the Dan Uggla era, and they're hoping they don't have to bite the bullet on the B.J. Upton era.
There's a front page in the sports section column day before yesterday. Grounded to second base. Asking the Braves, oh, if you bit the bullet on Uggla, why not Upton? Well, Upton still owed about $46 million. Nothing across for Atlanta. Crawford, Uribe, and A.J. Ellis will bat in the fourth. August the 13th, 2014. It is a day that Eddie Perez will never forget. The day he became an American citizen. And he is one of baseball's genuinely terrific people. Had a great career here in Atlanta. Caught Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz. His 8th year as a coach with the Braves. So we congratulate really one of the sweet people in the game, Eddie Perez. Now an American citizen.
He got a taste in the big leagues in 1995, their World Championship year. Hails from Venezuela, but now from the United States.
1 ball, no strikes. Crawford takes up and in, 2-0. He was one of Bobby Cox's faves, and for good reason. 2-1. Big day for Eddie Perez, Alana.
Well, I had the opportunity to talk to him earlier today and to congratulate him. He said it was a long process, naturally, as you might expect. It was a 100-question test, and he said, I've even asked some of the guys around me, American citizens, of course, by birth, and a lot of the questions are very difficult, even for you and I, Charlie, born in this country. So it was naturally a dream come true, very difficult process, but very proud and honored to be part of the United States of America as a citizen now.
He is just, I can't tell you what a good guy he is and what a nice story it is. Crawford into short left center. That's Andrelton Simmons.
I'm sure the studying for the 100 questions was not too tough. He was always a very smart catcher, understood the game, remembered pitch sequences, was Greg Maddox's personal catcher for a long time. Javi Lopez, of course, caught the other guys.
Javi, of course, was a much better hitting catcher. Perez was an outstanding defensive catcher. Uribe takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Juan with a single to left in his first at-bat. Flirting with 300. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Juan just got a taste of Santana's best slider he's thrown tonight. He's been up with the fastball and up with the slider. Gotten a few key outs, but really not his sharpest yet.
1-2 to Juan Uribe.
That sequence was pretty good. Slider down and away, and then that fastball in on the hands.
After tonight, just 40 games left in the regular season as Uribe takes up and in 2-2.
We are closing in on the end, Charlie, but the Dodgers with their best record and biggest lead.
Just beneath us. Needed Nomar here for that one.
Don't worry, I'm here.
We needed Nomar here for that one.
Don't worry, I'm here. But if he was here,
he would have taken care of it.
I would let him take care of us.
That's exactly right. But how great is that? Nomar's up in Boston today. The big ceremonies tomorrow at Fenway Park. Going into the Red Sox Hall of Fame along with Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez. Talk about good company. And an old friend of ours, Joe Castiglione, longtime voice of the Red Sox.
And that is quite a HOF class for the Boston Red Sox. Rival any class anywhere.
Uribe into left. Justin calling off his brother BJ. Two out, nobody on. A.J. Ellis coming up. A.J. down to 180.
You're not talking about his weight.
In his first at-bat, a one-hop scorcher to the third baseman Johnson, and wouldn't you know it, it ended up into a 5-4-3 double play. One ball, one strike to Ellis with Miguel Rojas on deck. Two balls and a strike.
AJ does his job on defense, but he so badly wants to get the bat going. The last at bat, he just hit a bullet down to third base, and Chris Johnson picked him.
Hit a home run over the weekend in Milwaukee. And he lines a base hit into left center field. And Ellis is going to try for 2, and he is going to make it. A.J. Ellis with his 8th double of the year. We talked the first 2 nights about Turner Field and how spacious it is out there.
Fastball. A.J. continues to barrel the ball up. He talked about his home run, the ball he hit here tonight in his first at bat, and now this one into the gap. B.J. Upton gets it over and throws accurately into second. A.J. busted it out of the box, knowing with 2 outs, getting to second base is the key. Snuck it right in there.
So Rojas has singled to center in his first at bat and drove in a run. Fouls it off. It's 0-1. Miguel given a night off last night. As Hanley Ramirez remains on the disabled list. And Rojas has just done a great job filling in. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Rojas has made just 1 error at short. Wouldn't you know, it was on the very first ball hit to him. One ball, 2 strikes.
And the odds are pretty strong that that ball, that type of ball that he made that error on, he won't make an error on that ball the rest of his career.
That was one of those little humpback line drive gyroscopes. He's committed 2 errors overall now in 268 big league innings. 15 innings at second base, 58 innings at third base, and now 198 innings at shortstop. Did he check his swing? Yes. It's first base umpire Lance Barksdale.
Now 2 strikes, pitcher on deck, and Ryu that swings the bat pretty well. You got to know they're probably going to try and make you chase, though, and Miguel caught wind of that just in time.
Ryu with a single in his first at bat. And now Rojas has worked the count full. A.J. Ellis is at second base, his 2-out double. And for Santana, pitch count's beginning to bloat a little bit. This is his 3rd full count of the night. Hasn't walked anybody yet. And now time call, home plate umpire Mark Ripperger. Santana in search of his 12th win of the year, the 3-2. Low and outside, ball 4. So Rojas is now singled and walked.
Early in the count, it looked like they were going to pitch to him, but once they got ahead, they continued to try and get him to chase. And Rojas, understanding the situation with Ryu coming up, got himself to walk.
Ryu is now 7 for 41. That's a 171 clip. A couple of RBIs.
A.J. Ellis not the fastest runner at second base, but he will get some help being 2 outs, being forced. He'll get to go on the crack of the bat.
2 balls and no strikes. 71 pitches. 25 this inning. Ellis and Rojas the runners. Santana fattening up his pitch count. Atlanta sends out Aaron Harang tomorrow. 2-1 to Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Ryu looked like he was taken all the way. That's a pitch that when he bails and wails kind of right into his swing. That one on the inner half, slightly up.
Out of play, 2-2.
At the same pitch back. This might be where he gets a breaking ball, though. Santana trying to save that run. Ellis on second base. Not want to just give in to the pitcher with a third fastball in a row. We might see the slider right here.
Johnson will throw out Ryu, and that will end the inning. An Ellis double, a 2-out walk to Rojas. The Dodgers leave 2. Freddie Freeman, Justin Upton, Evan Gattis coming up in the bottom of the 4th. Is brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import, and by Subway. Try this month's $6 featured footlong, the barbecue oven roasted chicken melt. Subway, eat fresh. A beautiful night in Atlanta. It's supposed to be hot Atlanta. It's been real nice Atlanta tonight. Temperature of 82 coming in, no humidity to speak of. This time of year, it's generally flirting with triple digits in temperature and humidity. So the Dodgers enjoying life on the road, 5-2 on the trip. This is game 16 of 20 in 20 days, and so far 10-5 on this stretch. Dodgers will fly home after the game tomorrow. The Brewers are in town over the weekend, and Monday the Dodgers will have an off day. Hyun-Jin Ryu and one of his best buddies on the team, Juan Uribe. So Ryu will face Freddie Freeman, Justin Upton, and Evan Gattis. Dodgers 2-1. They've out-hit the Braves 6-2. Freeman with a fly ball to center field. Puig heading back, running back, way back, and it's gone. No, it's caught. It's caught by Puig as he runs into the wall.
Hyun-Jin Ryu got some very much needed help from the wind here tonight. This looked like this ball was going to be way out of here, but the wind knocked it down in a big way, and Yasiel was able to capture it right before the wall. Thank goodness for the padding to save his shoulder.
Using both hands. In the open, we were talking about the wind blowing in, and Freeman wondering, what do I have to do to hit it out? This is one of those ballparks where you get it all and it's still not enough. Upton, a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Upton with 21 home runs and 69 runs batted in. A strikeout victim in his first at-bat. 2-1.
Long fly balls here in this ballpark. As a pitcher, it just really keeps you in a rhythm. You can be feeling good about yourself in a hitter's park, and all of a sudden you throw a great pitch and you give up a home run on it, and all of a sudden it can break your rhythm. But you still, before it, you're locked in, and all of a sudden the park just gives up the home run. Well, here you can be in your rhythm and make a mistake, and the park keeps you in your rhythm.
Throw that into the mix, and the wind that's blowing in. And the spacious turf here at Turner Field keeps it at a one-run game. Gaddis doubled and scored the only run of the game for Atlanta. That was in the second inning. Nothing in one to Evan Gaddis. Chris Johnson on deck. Upton has stolen 7 out of 9, but Ryu's got a very good move. And A.J. Ellis has thrown out 6 of 38. %. Last year's about 41%. Gaddis way out in front. Count nothing in 2.
Been a very different year for AJ throwing wise, and I think it has a lot to do with the leg injuries that he's had, just being able to get up and move, and we've even seen it with his ability to block balls that last year he was blocking for sure, or having a tendency to be graded as wild pitches where he used to rescue the pitchers.
Arthroscopic surgery on the left knee, and Gaddis is down on strikes. 5th strikeout. Dodgers struck out 11 Braves last night, 11 the night before.
Curveball in the dirt gets Gaddis. Strikeouts continue to pile up for these Atlanta Braves.
Striking out at a clip of about 8.5 per game. Basically giving away 3 innings a night. They've got 6 innings to score runs based on all the strikeouts. They have struck out at least 9 times in 9 consecutive games. Little wonder then the Braves have lost 11 of their last 13. The all-time record for most consecutive games with at least 9 strikeouts by a club. The Minnesota Twins last year. Padres struck out 9 or more times in 10 consecutive games in 2011. Can't put the ball in play, not a lot of good can happen.
Strikeout has lost its embarrassment. And now it's just part of the game, this generation of players thinks.
B.J. Upton has been struck out 149 times, most in the league. Ryu misses outside, 3-1. So the chances of a team winning over the long haul when you're striking out as much as Atlanta is, well, they're long shots. Johnson on 3-1. Pops it foul and out of play. The last team to lead the majors in batter strikeouts and make the playoffs in 2012, Oakland A's. They would lose to the Tigers in the division series. Last team to lead Major League Baseball in batter strikeouts, get past the division series and go on to the NLCS, the 2000 Cardinals. The last team to lead the league in strikeouts, win the pennant, the 89 Giants. They would lose in the World Series. Lined into center field for a base hit. Upton will go to third. Chris Johnson is aboard. Well, they've been playing the World Series since 1903 when the Boston Americans beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-3. Back then it was a 9-game World Series. So they've been playing about 110 World Series. How many World Series champions led the league in strikeouts? One. The 1938 Yankees. So you got to be in it to win it, and if you're not putting the ball in play, you can't. By the way, I want to thank the Hawking-Einstein Institute. Well, that's their nom de plume. Stats Inc. Our friends at Stats Inc. Thank you for putting those numbers together for us. So one World Series champion in 110 World Series have led the league in batter strikeouts.
Not many good things happen when you strike out, other than you don't hit into a double play. That's about it.
That's one way to stay out of it. Andrelton Simmons loops one into short right field for a base hit. Broke his bat. Upton comes in to score. The Braves have tied it at 2. And Johnson goes to third.
Simmons has been off for the last 6 games after hurting his ankle. And the bat that he just swung will be off for the rest of time. He busted it off the end here, one-hands it out there, and because the bat busts, there's no way it'll reach Matt Kemp, but there is a way that the Braves tie this up.
Simmons has knocked in both runs for Atlanta tonight, a fielder's choice in that single to right, and here's B.J. Upton, who golfs it into right center field. Kemp calling off Puig, and that ends the inning. So 2 out hits from Johnson and Simmons. Upton, who had walked, comes in to score. It's 2-2 as we head to the 5th. For the 5th inning. The end of the summer is just around the corner, and it's time for the kids to go back to school. So bring the family to Dodger Stadium this Sunday, August the 17th at 1:10. First 15,000 fans who are under the age of 14 will receive their own Dodger lunchbox, compliments of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. D. Gordon leads off in the 5th. And bounces one in the hole. Simmons, not even Andrelton Simmons, one of the best defensive shortstops in the game, could get the speedy D. Gordon. And for D, that is his 40th infield hit.
Simmons gets everybody other than D. Gordon. He even gets Yasiel Puig on this play. It was an outstanding play. We got a Carl's cam this. Look at this release. Does the Derek Jeter jump throw, but he does it quickly, and the strength of the arm was absolutely amazing. With D. Gordon, the only one on this field tonight that would be safe.
Now here's Yasiel Puig, who has been struck out twice. Dodgers their 7th base hit. Puig at 308. Gordon leads the majors with 51 stolen bases. Giants won today. So the Dodger lead up to the minute is 5.5. No balls and a strike. So Puig has been struck out twice tonight.
A little chirping coming out of the Dodger dugout about that call right there. Yasiel didn't like it with the body language. You see that. Don Mattingly put some lips to it.
Gordon nearly leaning the wrong way. Gordon caught stealing on Saturday in Milwaukee by Jonathan Lucroy. Alana Rizzo, who is standing right by the dugout, probably hearing some unkind words from the Dodger dugout.
Not necessarily unkind, Charlie, just certainly Don Mattingly wanting more consistency from Mark Rippinger. He's saying that that's been a ball all night. A.J. Ellis, of course, behind the plate, has also been saying that that's been a ball all night, just looking for the consistency here in this Puig at bat.
Puig has been struck out twice tonight. And misses badly on the slider, 0-2.
Yasiel had lost his balance on that pitch right there, and Atlanta has really pitched him away consistently. When they've come inside or the inner half of the plate, they have missed him. If they're going to give him a strike to hit, it's going to be on the outer half, it seems like.
Santana now at his 78th pitch. He has thrown over 4 times already to keep Gordon close. Now 5.
Davey Lopes, D. Gordon, Yasiel Puig out early last few days, going over how to get back to first base a little quicker. In Yasiel's case, how to get back without sliding, working on his footwork.
Six.
A lot of times when a pitcher is thrown to first and multiple times, and especially with a 2-strike count, he's trying to keep the runner close so that he can throw a breaking ball and try and strike the hitter out.
It was a breaking ball, and Gordon did not see that it got past Gaddis.
It looked like the swing from Puig distracted D. That ball definitely slides underneath Gaddis and trickles away, not very far, but the angle that D is looking from, you'd think he could have saw that if he'd have hung out there a little bit longer.
So 1 out, and Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Struck out, line to first. Adrian with 80 runs batted in, second in the league. Matt Kemp on deck.
Santana's not only going over there often, he's going over there very quickly. He's not giving any show moves. He's actually trying to drive D back, and D goes the wrong way. He's throwing over quick enough to pick him off.
Well, he certainly is keeping Gordon close to the bag. Gordon showing no inclination to this point of going. Kemp on deck and Crawford to follow. 2 runs and 7 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Braves. Eight throws to first base.
And that one didn't count. The ball wasn't put back in play. It was a foul ball by Gonzalez. They threw the ball back. Santana never engaged on the rubbers, so the ball was never in play. Now it is right now.
6 pitches to the plate, 8 throws to first. 9. So Gordon, 9 throws to first base. And Santana's made just 6 pitches this inning. We could be here a while. One ball and 2 strikes.
D has retreated farther than he has to run to get to second base.
Well, then Santana's getting his job done. Gonzalez 1 for 10 in his career against Santana, including 0 for 2 tonight. They don't keep records for this sort of thing, but if there was one. There goes Gordon. Fly ball to right center field. Hayward running on back. He's there, and he'll make the catch. And Gordon will retreat to first.
10 times over to first base. Not distracted enough because of the wind blowing in. Gets a fly ball to Adrian Gonzalez. Charlie, I remember back in Montreal Olympic Stadium, Tim Raines on first base, and they used to put these little chickens in manually onto the scoreboard every time you picked off. And I wanted to see how many they had.
Like a shooting gallery.
Yeah, I wanted to see how many they had, so I just kept throwing over there until they ran out of chickens. I think I threw over, 10, 11, 12 times. And they'd play this chicken music and put a chicken in there and dance it on the scoreboard. I'm like, no, they don't have enough for me.
A bulldog will beat a chicken every time.
No, it was just fun. We used to just laugh about it on the bench. I'm like, all right, I'm out here. Raines is over there with 1 out. I'll throw over there a zillion times. Let's see how many chickens they have.
Kemp has doubled, scored a run, and taken a call, 3rd strike. 2 out in the 5th. Two and 0 to Matt Kemp. That's Lance Barksdale, the first base umpire.
Time for D to run right here. 2-0, 2 out. Matt Kemp can take a pitch for him if he wants. He can swing if he wants because there's 2 out. Probably not going to pitch out 2-0.
Instead, the 11th toss over.
Still time to run. Get the best jump you can and go ahead and go.
Not going. Kemp went around in self-defense.
Bat never left his shoulder. He was just getting out of the way. They're calling that a swing. The home plate umpire, he's got some nerves working or something's going on. Matt getting ready, sees the ball. That's not a swing. He's getting out of the way. Bat never left his shoulder.
So instead of 3-0, it's 2-1.
Matt's got a little fire in his belly too, because the last at bat he got a pitch on the inner half to put him in the 0-2 count, and then struck out the next pitch. He's got some angst working towards the home plate umpire. Stay in the game if something negative happens here, Matt. Don't lose it.
A lot of room in left center for Matt Kemp. His double and his first at bat extended his hitting streak to 9 games, and now the count is 2-2. Crawford on deck. You get a feeling that the top half of the 5th inning began last Monday. So what's going inside his Santana's head that he is that preoccupied with Gordon?
Well, he's trying to hold close, and he's deciding that I'm in a 2-2 game and I want to win this game, and I'm not going to give him second base.
Until now, perhaps. Stolen base, Gordon wins the battle.
That's a great throw from Evan Gaddis, right on the bag with a quick release. Santana delivers the ball very well and has held D. Gordon the whole time, but D just outruns the equation. Between the delivery and the throw, he beats it by about an arm length. When the ball is usually this accurately thrown, you're out, but he slid right around it. If they go to replay, though, D went through that. Might have come off the bag with the tag still on him. They're not going to check.
On 3-2. Santana steps off the rubber. Every pitcher has been preoccupied by Gordon on base this year. I don't remember a sequence, anything like this one here in the 5th. Santana's even worried about him at second base. And after all is said and done, Kemp strikes out. And that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left after 4 1/2. The Dodgers and Braves are tied at 2. Take a look at D. Gordon sliding into second base. You may have been onto something there, Oral.
Super slow-mo. He's safe. First go around. Goslin keeps the tag on, and he's off the bag, and the glove's on his hip. But there were no consequences there. It didn't come into play. Right there, he's out.
Santana, the pitcher, leading off for the Braves in the bottom of the 5th. Well, after Kemp struck out following the stolen base by Gordon, no harm, no foul. Santana on 0-2 takes low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Used to be inquiring minds want to know. Now it's twittering minds want to know.
Santana down on strikes for the 2nd time. That's the 6th strikeout for Ryu. And the first out of the 5th.
Same pitch got him, the curveball. We just didn't get the same facial expression. Both strikeouts, but no smile on that one.
Six of the first 13 outs recorded by Ryu have been strikeouts. Jason Hayward takes a strike.
Ryu's first 7 batters, 7 for 7 first pitch strikes. The last 10, 4 for 10. So he backed off on attacking, but here 1 to Hayward.
1 ball and 1 strike. So Ryu at 66 pitches. Over Ryu's head and into center field for a base hit. Hayward is aboard with a 1-out single to center.
Ryu leaps for it. D. Gordon had to change his course of action because he realized Hayward, with the way he runs, he has to cut in for that ball. When he cuts the angle down, he can't reach it. He starts to go towards the outfield, then realizes I'm going to have to come in on that ball and really cut it down to get the ball to first base quickly, and that cut down on his range. The ball scooted into center field.
Phil Goslin is 0 for 2. Struck out in his first at-bat and bounced to second. Hayward has stolen 13 out of 17 this year. Freddie Freeman on deck. Bunted in the air and off the backstop. So the Braves and Dodgers tied at 2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Atlanta got off to a good start this year, 17-7. Since then, 43-51. And Gonzalez's team hasn't done all that well at home either. They're 15-17 in their last 32 home games.
Injuries to the starting staff. Tons of strikeouts by the offense.
Averaging just a shade over 3 runs a game since the All-Star break. 1 ball, 1 strike. Since the break, the Braves are 7-16. Dodgers are 15-9 since the intermission. Been a good road trip for the Dodgers, 5-2. They've got the best road record in the majors. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers are 14 games over 500 away from Dodger Stadium. Mattingly's crew will fly home after the game tomorrow afternoon. This is the 16th game in a span of 20 games in 20 days for the Dodgers. Outside corner, 7th strikeout for Ryu.
Another curve ball that he steals a strike with. This barely catches the outside corner. I'm really not sure it made it back. Oh, yes, maybe. one umpire that matters got it right.
So Goslin down on strikes for the second time. He's 0 for 3, and Freddie Freeman, who is single to left and fly to center, coming up. Inside. Justin Upton is on deck. Got a piece of it.
Don't want Freeman to extend his arms. You see A.J. Ellis's target inside. Ball just creeps up and away to the shoulder of Freeman. He's swinging a hot bat. They didn't want to make any mistakes on him. Grazed his shoulder.
So the Braves' lead runner is Hayward at second. Freeman is at first. In a 2-2 tie with 2 out. Justin Upton has struck out, walked, and scored a run. Upton fourth with 21 home runs and fifth in the league with 69 runs batted in. Evan Gattis is on deck.
Coming into this game, 3 hitters that he's facing, Freeman, Upton, and Gattis, had the best averages against Ryu. Gattis at 400, Freeman at 667, and Upton at 375.
Two balls and a strike to Justin Upton. Braves and Frank Wren went all in, getting Upton from Arizona to the right side into right field for a base hit. Hayward coming around to score. RBI single for Justin Upton, and the Braves have a 3-2 lead. For Upton, his 70th run batted into the year.
Hit by pitch comes back to hurt Ryu. Upton likes the ball in the inner half. Dodgers trying to stay away. Upton hits this ball right where it's pitched and finds the hole by D. Gordon into right field. The end of the play, Rojas almost sneaking in behind. Got an out. Upton with a key and big RBI.
Evan Gattis coming up. Gattis has doubled and scored a run and has been struck out. Dodgers took a 2-0 lead in the top half of the second. Atlanta tied it in the bottom half. And now the Braves, with runs in the fourth and again here in the fifth, have a 3-2 lead. Freeman and Upton the base runners. Ryu misses outside.
Keep your concentration. You're disappointed. Now you're down by 1, but don't increase the damage by losing your intensity.
2-1 to Gattis.
You have no idea how many runs your team is going to get you, even though you're down 3-2. You might come back with a 3 or 4 spot next inning. You got to get them in the dugout.
Slowly hit to second. Gordon flips to Rojas, and that ends the inning. 2 hits and a hit batsman results in a run for the Braves. We'll go to the 6th. Atlanta 3-2. Greinke, who will be pitching over the weekend back at Dodger Stadium. Well, Wednesday, the 20th, a week from tonight, first 50,000 fans in attendance at Dodger Stadium receive a Zach Greinke bobblehead, compliments of Las Vegas. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. There's Zach. He'll be pitching Friday night against the Brewers against Jimmy Nelson. Kershaw goes Saturday night, and on Sunday afternoon, Dan Herron. And the red-hot Carl Crawford begins the sixth inning with a clean single to left. Crawford 2 for 3. Crawford with good reason to smile. And here's Uribe, who has singled to left and flied to left. Carl Crawford on the road trip is now 13 for 28.
He won't be afraid to possibly steal a bag. Down here at the bottom of the order, the Dodgers looking for some production.
Crawford has stolen 14 out of 17. But as we've seen, Gaddis is a good throwing arm. First pitch, Uribe pops it up, throws his bat away in disgust, and Simmons drops the ball. Or did he? What is the call now? There goes Uribe. Second base umpire Gary Cederstrom.
Might have ruled that he intentionally dropped it, and so he called the batter out. Didn't look like he intentionally dropped it. He's going to intentionally drop that. He's going to come up and kind of give it a little olay and let the ball just lay in front of him. I think he did actually drop it.
Well, it goes as a pop out to the shortstop, A.J. Ellis. Gary Cederstrom immediately pointing to the drop ball and pointing at Uribe, you're out. So Crawford is at first, and Ellis takes high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Ellis has doubled tonight. Hard line drive double, and in his first at-bat, he scorched a one-hopper to the third baseman, Chris Johnson, and all that did was turn into a 5-4-3 double play. 3-2 Atlanta with 1 out in the 6th. 2-1 to A.J. Ellis with Miguel Rojas on deck. Rojas has had a good night, hitting a walk. He's also driven in a run. Dodgers have out hit the Braves 8-6. There goes Crawford. Throw down to second, and it goes into center field. Crawford not aware of that. Now he is, and now he's on his way to third, and he makes it. Well, it took a while to get there. Crawford, a stolen base and an error.
Carl Crawford does a nice job stealing the bag. Middle infielders of the Braves do a nice job keeping Crawford at second with some deke, but B.J. Upton does not hustle in for this ball. He's just jogging there. If he's sprinting, he'll be the one that could pick it up and throw and maybe get Crawford.
So on the error, tying run at third, count 2-2 to A.J. Ellis. And Freddie Gonzalez is forced to bring the infield in. The error goes to the second baseman, Goslin. Did Ellis go around? Yeah.
AJ doesn't think he goes around. I'm not sure he went around either. He's one of the most mysterious calls in baseball of what's a swing and what's a check swing.
The check swing, like the balk, is in the eye of the beholder.
Sure is.
So now there's 2 out. The Braves can bring the infield back. Lance Barksdale, the first base umpire.
He's getting barked at.
So here's Rojas with 2 out. Rojas with a single and an RBI in the second inning, and he walked in his second plate appearance. At 221 with 1 home run and 8 runs batted in. 2 balls and no strikes.
If you're Santana 2-0 with a leading lady at third and Carl Crawford, Ryu on deck, only has 81 pitches, and there's no action in the Dodger bullpen, so you're going to get to face the pitcher if Rojas gets on, if you decide to pitch around him.
Rojas at 259 with runners in scoring position. Blocked by Gaddis. That saves a run. 3-0.
Hence the 2-0 breaking ball to the 8-hitter with Ryu on deck.
Rojas looking at Lorenzo Bundy, and they're just going to finish this at bat with an intentional walk. Second walk given up by Santana, both to Rojas. And here is Ryu, and before he gets to see a pitch, Roger McDowell is going to go out and talk with Santana and Gaddis, Goslin and Simmons. Dodgers are 2 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. On the year, the club is hitting .269 in the clutch, which is 10 points higher than their overall team batting average.
Santana now with 99 pitches, and he's the 4th hitter next inning. If you happen to give up the tying run here, I'm sure the Braves will have some action in their pen and be thinking about hitting for him next inning.
Ryu back in the second inning. Smashed a single into center field. His 7th hit of the year. Takes a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. So he's 6 for 42. That's a 167 average. And D. Gordon is on deck. First and third, 2 out. 0-2. Ryu with 7 hits, 2 of them doubles, and he has 2 RBIs.
Where Gaddis has to be confident in his blocking ability right now. You'd love to throw Ryu a breaking ball in the dirt. Man on third, a little risky.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Hyun-Jin Ryu. Quick turnaround for tomorrow. Back first pitch at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific, noon here. 1-2, first and third, 2 out. Down on strikes. 8th strikeout for Santana. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Atlanta 3-2.
Bottom of the sixth, of course, Hyunjin Ryu has been a part of that 1-2-3 three-headed monster as far as the starters are concerned for the Los Angeles Dodgers as he tries to get back in this thing and pick up his 14th win of the season. And there had been some question about the back end of the bullpen, especially with the disabled list stint for Josh Hamilton. But the recent acquisition of Roberto Hernandez, who pitched brilliantly his last time out, a no decision but went 6 innings. Kevin Correa making the spot start to give the guys an extra day of rest. He also goes 6. 4 hits, just 1 earned run, and Dan Herron back-to-back solid outings, once again going 6 innings, giving up just 6 hits and the 2 earned runs. So it looks like Dan Herron is back end of the rotation, pretty solidified as of right now, guys.
And Roberto Hernandez will make his second start for the Dodgers in tomorrow's matinee against Aaron Harang. Will be on the air at 9 a.m. first pitch Pacific time, high noon here. Chris Johnson takes outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. It'll be Johnson, Andrelton Simmons, and B.J. Upton. Johnson, a sacrifice and a single, fouls it off to the right. Coming into the game, Chris Johnson had the highest batting average against left-handed pitching in the National League, .432. And it went up tonight with his single to center and a sacrifice. The 2-1. Right back to Ryu. First out of the bottom of the 6th. That one hit solidly.
Chris Johnson squares it up, but Ryu was ready to field it. Those will surprise you. That one right back at you.
Andrelton Simmons on his way to the batter's box. He has driven in 2 of the 3 Atlanta runs in his first game back in a week since spraining his ankle. Fielder's choice in the second, a single to right in the 4th. 1 ball, no strikes.
He got to test that ankle when he made that unbelievable play in the hole on D. Gordon. D. Gordon beat it out, but he showed his talents.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gordon in the 5th inning would get himself his 40th infield hit of the year, but it wasn't easy as Simmons went deep in the hole, did one of those Derek Jeter jump throws, only because it was Gordon. But D got himself a hit. Simmons as good a defender at short as anybody. And Rojas not too shabby his own self. Miguel Rojas has just done a splendid job at shortstop, taking over for the injured Hanley Ramirez, who remains on the 15-day disabled list. Now B.J. Upton. Ryu has struck out at least 1 Brave in every inning to this point, except here in the 6th. No balls and 2 strikes.
BJ got close to 100.5 strikeouts now.
149 and counting.
Ryu's got a shot.
He's ahead 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Domit is on deck, and David Carpenter warming in the bullpen. Braves lead it 3-2 with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Two and 2.
B.J. Upton has showed himself to like the low and in pitch, and that would be the slow curveball Ryu. You wouldn't want to throw in that happy zone. That's where he hit a home run off of Dan Herron on a split finger that went right into that spot. High fastball.
That was last night.
Yep. If he throws the curveball, he's going to want to keep it on the outer half and have him reaching for it. He doesn't want to get it down and in. If he does happen to throw it down and in, you better go deep down and in on his back foot.
3-2 in the neighborhood.
I like a slightly up fastball here. I think he'll pop it up for you. Or foul it off.
Either one.
He's got a hole in his swing on the upper half. He's got a little hitch in there, and he's got a hole. You have 149 strikeouts. You don't have a lot of plate coverage. But you might have one happy zone, and that happens to be low and in.
Upton leads the majors in having been struck out. Again, only the Cubs and Marlins have struck out more than the Atlanta Braves this year. First 2 games, the Dodger pitching struck out Atlanta 11 times a game. And to this point, Ryu has struck out 6, with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. And Upton engaged in battle.
Some hitters, those fastballs are mistakes. To B.J. Upton, that's where you want to put it. The upper half of the strike zone. Usually we'll get underneath it.
Upton hitting .210 and takes outside, ball 4. And now Hyun-Jin Ryu is down. Stan Conti came running out immediately after the pitch was thrown. And the interpreter is there. What's going on? What's going on? Conti saw something immediately.
So he's grabbing the back of his right leg like he has a cramp or something.
Ryu immediately pointed into the dugout.
It's like, stay away, I'll be okay. A little spasm there, cramp in his. The pitch count is at a place where they might want to take him out just because he doesn't have a lot of pitches left anyway. Last 5 starts, he's gone 92 pitches minimum. He's gone over the 100 mark, but here now at 97 pitches, they're going to take him out.
He's coming out of the game, and it appears to be an effort. The upper hamstring at that point is what he was pointing at. Immediately, Conti came running out. Again, one of the sources of strength for this Dodger club this year has been the front 3 of the rotation. So now Jamie Wright is coming in. Let us not forget Ryu at 13-5, Kershaw 14-2, and Greinke 12-8. They can ill afford to lose Hyun-Jin Ryu. But he is out of the game due to injury. Jamie Wright will have as much time as he needs to warm up, with 2 out and a runner at first base in the bottom of the 6th, and the Braves leading the Dodgers 3-2. to get warm. Hyun-Jin Ryu comes out due to a leg injury, the details of which we do not know as yet. As soon as we do, you will know as well. Time to take a look at the Dodgers calendar presented by 76. We'll be back with you first thing tomorrow morning. It'll be getaway day for the Dodgers. It'll be Roberto Hernandez and Aaron Harang. Then the Brewers come calling Friday night, Saturday a 6 o'clock start. And on Sunday afternoon at 1, Monday, will be the first Dodger off day in nearly 3 weeks. So here is Jamie Wright, who will turn 40 on Christmas Eve, making his 45th appearance. Much sooner tonight than he or anybody else had expected. ERA of 3.19 and opposing hitters hitting .228 against him. And now the Dodgers can only keep their fingers crossed that what appeared to be a right leg injury to Hyun-Jin Ryu was nothing more than a cramp, which we saw last night. Tommy La Stella, the second baseman of Atlanta, came out of the game in the very first inning. His hamstring cramped up. The Dodgers are hoping it's nothing more than that with Ryu.
Jamie Wright now in a role a little bit more than people thought. He's not just the long man mop-up guy. He has pitched so effectively that Don Mattingly and Rick Honeycutt can use him anywhere from the 6th inning on, and you'll even see him in the 8th. If you've got some guys that maybe struggle with his breaking ball, he has been a consistent and stellar figure down in that Dodger bullpen.
And in his last 9 innings of work, 14 strikeouts. And hitters are just hitting 103 against him, so he's been great. The Dodgers have done so well on this road trip, 5-2. Although trailing tonight 3-2 with 2 out of the bottom of the 6th. Now hold their breath and await word on the condition of Hyun-Jin Ryu and his leg. On a 3-2 pitch to B.J. Upton.
He yells right away, and he knows the dugout hurt him. He's trying to wave him off like I'll be okay, but the pitch count where it's at, Ryu's importance to the team, we're going to get him out of there.
There wasn't much debate. Stan Conte walking off with him. And now Ryan Domit pinch hitting for Irvin Santana. Giants won today 7-1 against the White Sox. For the moment, the Dodger lead over San Francisco is 5.5. Doman at 197, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. And Wright will toss over to first base. B.J. Upton has 18 stolen bases.
You pay attention to him, though. Been caught 7 times. You can cut down on his jump. Just make sure that you pay attention.
Ellis has thrown out 6 of 38, 16%. Dolan takes a strike. The Dodgers have thoroughly enjoyed themselves since the All-Star break. 15-9, 5-2 on the trip. And now they wonder about Hyun-Jin Ryu. Dolan fouls it back. Well, Roberto Hernandez, acquired at the trade deadline, will start tomorrow. Kevin Correa, who was acquired to be that Paul Maholm swingman, suddenly his role perhaps takes on greater importance.
We'll be waiting for the report out of the training room.
Remember years ago talking to Ned Colletti when things were going well, and Colletti said, my job, I'm always a sprained ankle away from a heart attack. Well, in this case, maybe a pulled muscle. Here's the 0-2 inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Domit with Jason Hayward on deck. The twists and turns of a season. Domit, switch hitter, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he is struck out. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left, and a question mark now surrounding Hyun-Jin Ryu as we go to the 7th, Atlanta 3 and the Dodgers 2. For the Braves, we go to the top half of the 7th. Irvin Santana, 2 runs and 8 hits, struck out 9 and walked 1. Carpenter in his 47th appearance of the year. Faced 1 batter last night, Yasiel Puig, and struck him out. D. Gordon, Puig, and Gonzalez will bat for the Dodgers in the 7th inning.
Carpenter is a nice piece to the Atlanta bullpen, and of course the stellar closer Craig Kimbrell. So if the Dodgers are to come back, they want to try and do it before the 9th, because Kimbrell is a tough hombre.
Kimbrell in his career has struck out about 42% of the batters he's faced.
He's electric. Low 3/4 delivery. Fastball seems like it rises, and then he's got a nice big sweeping slider.
Gordon leading off the 7th and takes a strike, 0-1. D with an infield hit, a stolen base. He's also grounded out and struck out. And the 7th inning. Magical inning one way or the other for the Dodgers. B.J. Upton. 1 out. The Dodgers this year, when leading after 7, are 61-4. When trailing after 7, they've yet to win a game. 0-42.
We're pretty close to setting that up. Can do it a little early. That would make Don Mattingly and Tim Wallach feel fine.
Puig tonight, 0 for 3, has been struck out all 3 times. So Santana had the better of Puig this evening. Inside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. Puig at .307 with 13 home runs, 56 runs batted in. But he has been struck out now 91 times. Kemp and Puig are the 2 fellows who strike out the most for the Dodgers. Kemp tonight has been struck out twice. He's also doubled, extending his hitting streak to 9 games. Three balls and no strikes.
My guess, Charlie, is Matt Kemp, when he comes to the plate, is not going to allow the umpire to get him to 2 strikes. He's going to be hacking early. It feels like the strike zone and the check swing calls have been a little bit unfair.
On 3-0, an anxious Puig grounds it foul. David Carpenter, 6'2" and 230 from Morgantown, West Virginia. In his 3rd big league season, has pitched for the Astros, the Blue Jays, and now the Braves. 3-2 to Puig.
That 96-mile-an-hour fastball and that delivery remind me of Mark Worrell. He used to pitch for the Braves. Over the top, gas. Wohlers, apologize, mispronounced the name.
So Puig works out a walk. And Adrian Gonzalez is coming up. Kemp on deck. Dodgers trail by a run. Tigers have a 5-4 lead over the Pirates. They're playing in Detroit in the bottom of the 7th. Gonzalez fouls it back, and it's 0-1.
That was a mighty cut right there. Adrian opening up the swing, trying to not only tie the game up, put us ahead.
Well, Jason Hayward is straight away in right. B.J. Upton a couple of steps toward left center. Gonzalez second in the league with 80 runs batted in. Puig a short lead at first, being held on by Freddie Freeman. 1-1.
Now this park is playing extra large tonight with the size of it, plus the wind that we've had consistently all night. It is still pretty breezy.
Last couple of days, Yasiel Puig has been working with Davey Lopes in getting back to first base on throws just like that. That's the first time we've seen him return to first base with a head-first slide in weeks. Into center field. Upton is there. Two out. And Kemp coming up. So Yasiel Puig continues to be a work in progress on the subtleties of the game.
Yes, he does. To work with Davey Lopes, who I think 3rd all time in stolen base percentage with Davey. So you're learning from one of the masters.
And so a little thing like a head-first slide. The subtleties of the game being picked up along the way by Puig, and here is Kemp with 2 out and another head-first slide. So Davey Lopes must feel proud.
Yep.
Working on the slide, the head-first slide, with one of his prized pupils. Nothing in 1 to Kemp. David Earl Lopes. "16 years in the big leagues. Nothing in 2.
Like we said, Matt Kemp was going to be aggressive. First pitch breaking ball he swung at. Second pitch fastball up he swung at. I wouldn't be surprised he swings at anything close here. He doesn't want to put the game and his at bat in the umpire's hands. Yasiel should run here and give him a fresh count even if he gets thrown out.
Not going. Ball strike 3. Kemp is a frustrated fella tonight with home plate umpire Mark Ripperger. And he is lingering a little too long. Third time Kemp's been struck out. 7th inning stretch. Well, you just saw Jason Hayward getting high fives in the dugout. That was in the 5th inning when the Braves would take a 3-2 lead, and that's where we are as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the aforementioned Mr. Hayward will be leading off against Jamie Wright, who came in after Hyun-Jin Ryu threw what turned out to be his 97th and final pitch of the night. Slowly hit up the first base line, and Wright will take it by himself.
Very well done by Jamie Wright. In the olden days, they used to teach you to run a 45-degree angle and then go up the baseline. Nowadays, they teach pitchers to chase the baseball. They have found that it's better for the pitcher to chase the ball and get to it than to just go to the line and let the first baseman then field it and flip it over. And you can see that new way of covering first base and tracking the ball works for pitchers better than letting the infielders get it and then trying to cover the bag.
1 pitch, 1 out. Phil Goslin coming up. He's 0 for 3, starting at second base tonight when Ryu started. The left-handed hitting rookie second baseman Tommy La Stella was given the night off. So Goslin remains in the game against Wright and takes a strike, 0-1. Goslin 2 strikeouts and a ground out. With 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, the Braves lead it 3-2. 1-1. Freeman under. The hard-throwing Jordan Walden is warming up in the bullpen. Pitched an inning last night. Gave up 1 hit, 12 pitches, 9 strikes. 1-2. Goslin, since his call up, sitting 188 at AAA. He was hitting 344. Number up the third base line, and that is going to be a base hit. Hayward nubbed one up the first base line. He was out. Goslin nubs one up the third base line. He's got a hit.
Almost impossible. If you're playing in and happen to be a bunter and you get a swinging bunt like that, you have a chance to get thrown out. But if you're playing normal depth back there, Juan Uribe's got no shot.
Terry Pendleton, first base coach over there. There wasn't anything Uribe could do but give it back to right. Now Freddie Freeman. He's got a hit. Was hit by a pitch, fly to center. Freeman breaks his bat and splinters a hit into right field. Goslin holds it second.
They haven't hit him hard, but they've got first and second, 1 out. Swinging bunt, broken bat, cut fastball in on Freddie's hands. They've been trying to get in there all night. Ryu hit him in his last at bat trying to get in there. This one gets in on him, shatters the bat. Freeman gets a hit.
Freeman in his last at bat in the 5th inning, after Hayward had singled. With 2 out, Freeman was hit by a pitch, and Justin Upton would single into center field. That would drive home Hayward. That would give the Braves a 3-2 lead that they currently enjoy. And here is Upton, who has struck out, walked, scored a run, and singled to right. Each team with 8 hits. The Braves lead 3-2. Dodgers positioned for a double play, and Upton takes a strike. Upton at the moment, 281, 21 home runs, and 70 runs batted in. He's hit a home run against right. Gaddis on deck, outfield straight away. Ball, 1 strike.
Well, Jamie's out pitch at times this year has been his good hard curveball. He has yet to throw it here to Upton. He's gone with a cutter and then a 2-seamer, looking for a ground ball. But I would suspect sometime during this at bat, Upton will have to try and hit the curveball.
Upton has been struck out a lot, 125 times, and a fly ball to right field. Heading on back is Kemp. On the warning track, he makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Goslin, 2 out.
Well, this is really a key at bat with Gaddis coming up. First and third, 2 out, down by 1 already. Have not had a comeback post 7th inning all year of the Dodgers. They've got some hard throwers in their pen. They're going to pitch the 8th and 9th.
Jordan Walden, the hard-throwing right-hander, will pitch the 8th for Freddie Gonzalez. And the Dodgers have Carl Crawford, Juan Uribe, and A.J. Ellis coming up. Atlanta has just 1 lefty in the bullpen, James Russell. So Gaddis a double and 3 at-bats and a run scored. Three to Atlanta.
They don't think Freddie Freeman is stealing. Jamie Wright just didn't feel right about what pitch was being called or how he felt in the stretch right there before he delivered to Gaddis.
Freeman hasn't stolen a base all year. No balls, 1 strike to Evan Gaddis.
Sometimes as a pitcher, one of the ways to reboot the computer is just to step off or throw to first, just to get a fresh look at the signs and a fresh feeling of what you want to do.
No balls and a strike to Gaddis. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, now in the driver's seat, you got to trust A.J. Ellis behind the plate if you're going to bounce the breaking ball. Gaddis, the type of hitter that is a good bad ball hitter, but he is better at hitting the high fastball out of the strike zone and tomahawking it than he is at the breaking ball in the dirt. That is what he will chase and not hit.
Gaddis listed at 6'4", 260, and who are we to argue? One ball, 2 strikes. Second big league season. Last year, hit 243. And at the moment, 276. To go with the 17 home runs and 45 runs batted in. There goes Freeman. Fake throw, nothing doing. Second and third, 2 out. Count 2-2.
Last year's Gaddis' 243 was in a part-time basis. Brian McCann was the starter, but his production and potential production allowed the Braves to let McCann go to the Yankees and give Gaddis the starting job.
And had so many clutch hits, it seemingly burst out of nowhere.
Had some personal issues and off-the-field issues that kept him away from baseball. Wandered around doing multiple jobs and wandered kind of through life, but was convinced to come back and try minor league ball and performed very well very quickly and came straight to the big leagues.
And now he's got a couple of runners in scoring position with 2 out and a 2-2 count. Call strike 3. Jamie Wright strikes out Gaddis looking. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the 8th. Crawford, Uribe, and A.J. Ellis are due up. Braves 3, Dodgers 2. TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Dodgers.com for details. Jamie Wright, an inning and a third in relief to this point, has struck out 2, and the Braves left runners at second and third. And here's the hard-throwing Jordan Walden. Terrific numbers. ERA of 2.25. Opponents hitting less than 200 against him in now his 43rd appearance.
Since the middle of June, he's gone 23 innings, only given up 2 earned runs. That's at a clip of a .78 ERA, so he has been very hot. The Angels unloaded him because of control problems, but he has found the range here in an Atlanta uniform.
Walden out of Fort Worth. He was traded a couple of years back for Tommy Hanson. His 5th big league season, his 2nd with Atlanta, and the first pitch to Crawford at 95 is a call strike, 0-1. 2 more hits for Carl Crawford tonight, lifting his average to 262. One ball, 1 strike.
Walden with a very unorthodox delivery where he kind of jumps at the hitter and his back foot disengages and curls around his body. You got to really concentrate as a hitter and not pick up on the leg.
Crawford, backhanded play beautifully made by Goslin. Crawford robbed of a leadoff hit in the 8th.
He's doing his best Darwin Barney imitation right there. Barney threw some great D at the Braves last night and was the player of the game. Right here, the Braves turnabout is fair play. Goslin in there tonight makes a nice play going to his right. Hop, step, gun throw.
1 out, nobody on. So Goslin getting the start tonight. Ryu, the lefty, began the game. And Tommy La Stella, a left-handed hitter, was given the night off. Uribe singled to left in his first at-bat, flied to left, and is popped to short. Braves 3-2, 8th inning. 97. So no report yet on Hyun-Jin Ryu, his 97th and final pitch. A walk to B.J. Upton. And then a leg issue. Immediately, Stan Conti, head trainer, came sprinting out. So did Mattingly. Ryu would limp off the field. He's obviously being worked on now. Details of the injury we do not know as yet. 3-1 to Uribe. A.J. Ellis on deck. Rojas to follow. Gutierrez, the backup catcher. Turner, Barney, Van Slyke, and Ethier on the Dodger bench. Chopper to second. Oh, bad hop. And that bad hop gets Uribe an infield hit. And Freddie Gonzalez might want a second opinion.
We'll see. It was very, very close.
Well, we're going to get a replay. Lance Barksdale and the crew chief Gary Cedarstrom will get a good long listen to from the folks in New York.
There's the hop that made it close. Goslin's arm, strong and accurate. Is it in time? And it looks like it might be. But you never know. When the call on the field is safe, you got that leaning your way. Is it convincing evidence that he's out? And I'm not sure it's going to be convincing.
Well, the folks here at Turner Field think it's sufficiently convincing. Gary Cedarstrom is the fellow that was facing the camera.
He's out. He's out by an inch, 2.
Didn't take long, did it?
Take a look at Exmo. Leather and no compression on the bag yet. Not even the tip of the spike hitting.
No balls and a strike to A.J. Ellis. Largest crowd of the series so far watching tonight's game, 33,299. They drew only 20,000 on Monday night. And then there was a piece in the paper today, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, that the Braves are on a pace to have their smallest attendance for a season since 1991. Braves are averaging about 29,000 per game here, or roughly 20,000 less per game than the Dodgers averaged back in L.A. A.J. Ellis with a solid single into center field.
A.J. is swinging the bat a lot better than his numbers show, and he might get some hits here in the last 40 games to start to raise his average. Boys, he's starting to square it up in the last 4 or 5 days. He's starting to really look good at the plate.
Ellis in his first at-bat, a hard one-hop shot of the third baseman Johnson turned into a 5-4-3 double play. Then he would double to center after striking out. He singles to center. So 2 out, and Justin Turner on the first pitch of his pinch hitting effort bounces back to the bottom. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Dodgers down to their final 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Braves lead at 3-2. Out to pitch the 8th, after pitching to 1 batter in the 6th. Getting out of the 7th inning, giving up a couple of hits, neither of which were hit particularly hard. Would end the inning by striking out Evan Gattis. He'll pitch the bottom of the 8th, beginning with Chris Johnson. Well, here's an update on Hyun-Jin Ryu. We'll give you the scientific version of the injury. The right gluteus maximus muscle strain.
He pulled his rump roast.
No ifs, ands, or buts about that. He is listed as day-to-day. Chris Johnson leads off the bottom half of the 8th inning. Johnson takes a strike, nothing in 1. Sacrificed in his first at-bat, single to center, and bounced back to the box. Johnson, Simmons, and B.J. Upton will hit in the bottom of the 8th. Certainly expect to see Craig Kimbrell pitch the 9th inning. And the Dodgers will have a pinch hitter for Wright, then Gordon and Puig.
You get the leading lady here because you're probably going to get a pinch hitter in the 4-hole of this inning, so you don't want to get the leadoff hitter on, let him bunt him over, or start playing hit and run because you're going to face 4 hitters. There's no pitcher in that 9th hole.
Chris Johnson at 272, and there's Kimbrell. Two balls and 2 strikes to Chris Johnson. Johnson came up with the Astros. And a bit of time in Arizona, came over to Atlanta last year. Came along with Justin Upton. Wright misses outside, 3-2.
First half of last year, he was hitting around a 400 clip. He was really putting on a show, Chris Johnson was. I asked him about his swing last year, and so spent about 20 minutes with him, and he talked about how he just went with what he felt with that day. He never had a regimen or a set swing that he wanted to have.
He's been struck out, 3rd strikeout for Wright. It's the 9th strikeout by Dodger pitching tonight, and the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
An outstanding cutter right there. Ball was late and sharp. It's actually a slider. Threw it with slider grip and slider spin. It was thrown so hard and so sharply it looked like a cutter.
Andrelton Simmons, his first game back. And he's driven in 2 of the Atlanta 3 runs. One with a fielder's choice and one with a single to right. He's also bounced to short. Dodgers have out-hit the Braves 9-8. Dodgers as well as left 9 men on base. Atlanta's left 8 on. B.J. Upton on deck. Quick turnaround for these 2 teams. First pitch a little past noon in Atlanta, a little after 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on the coast. Roberto Hernandez and Aaron Harang. To shortstop. Turner picks it up and throws out Simmons, 2 gone.
Justin Turner at shortstop. Pinch hit last inning. They slipped him into the on-deck circle right as A.J. Ellis got a hit with 2 outs. Miguel Rojas was in there, but Don Mattingly elected to go with the offense, down by a run. Got Turner up there in a hurry, but grounded back to the pitcher.
In a hurry. 1 pitch. So now here is B.J. Upton. 0 for 2, a walk, and a strikeout. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. B.J. Upton at 210.
Charlie, you just mentioned the Dodgers are out hitting the Braves 9-8. That is going to be a rarity if the score holds. They are 47-6 when they out hit the opponent.
But down 3-2 with 2 out of the bottom of the 8th. Into center, Puig on the run, cracks it down, and that ends the inning. Dodgers walk into the last chance saloon. They've got a pinch hitter coming up. Then Gordon and Puig and Kimbrell coming in. 3-2 Atlanta. base hit in the 5th inning. A 2-out single to center plating Jason Hayward. And this would turn out to be the Arco top-tier play. With 2 out, Hayward having singled, Freddie Freeman would be hit by a pitch, and then Upton would knock in what has turned out to be the game-leading run and worthy of the Arco top-tier play of the night. So here is one of the toughest hombres in the league, Craig Kimbrell. His 49th appearance. Strikes out 4 batters for every one that he walks. And opposing hitters hitting just .134 against him.
He has over a 90% save percentage, and that's 3rd in Major League history with relievers with at least 150 save opportunities. He's only behind Eric Gagne and John Smoltz.
In search of his 35th save of the year. And Andre Ethier will lead it off in the 9th, pinch hitting. .95 down and away, 1 ball, no strikes. D. Gordon on deck and Puig to follow. It's been 3-2 since the bottom of the 5th. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's a rarity. That's a pitch that he threw early in his career, and the only way you could get runs off of him is to sometimes let him build the inning with walks, but his control has been immaculate over the last 2 or 3 years.
Ethier 0 for 7, 5 strikeouts against Kimbrell. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes. Gordon on deck, 0 for 2. Puig has never faced Kimbrell before. 3-0 to Ethier. Takes a 96-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike.
Calmed the leg kick down, backed off on the rhythm, and delivered the strike.
The 3-1. 97 upstairs, 3-2.
Some would say that's ball 4. What's Andre doing swinging? But you got to get it started quickly and can't read precisely if it's a strike or a ball. If it's in your area, you got to cut it loose when a guy's throwing above 95.
26-year-old Craig Kimbrell out of Huntsville, Alabama.
Just loosening up now. 98 on that one.
Last year, an ERA of 121. In 2012, his earned run average was 101. 2011, the ERA was 210. A career earned run average of 139 for Craig Kimbrell. Yet he walks Ethier to begin the 9th inning.
Gordon's going to put a little pressure on him now. They're going to have to play in for the possible bunt for a sacrifice, bunt for a hit. Infield hit is possible. He just brings so many intangibles to the game right here.
Well, the degree of difficulty of bunting a 97-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. He's bunting. Freeman goes to first, safe! The speed of D. Gordon, again, a major impact. First and second, nobody out.
It was a sacrifice, but it was, like you said, Charlie, difficult to bunt hit, and so is difficult. He just grazes it, and it chops off the plate. The plate gives the ball a very high altitude coming off the rubber, not the dirt. When you hear the clunk and the sound, that was it coming off the plate, and D. Gordon beats it by a stride.
ball spun to a dead end. Freeman had to pick it up. And the throw not in time. The Dodgers now with the tying run at second base in Ethier. And Puig 0 for 3 and a strikeout tonight. Puig is 9th in the National League with a .328 batting average with runners in scoring position. Off to the right and out of play.
Very surprised that Simmons is paying so much attention to Ethier at second base. This breaking ball by Kimbrel up, and Puig had a shot at it. Oh, he knew it was hanging. But the defense of the Atlanta Braves right now is not at full strength. When Simmons thinks Ethier would be stealing third, I don't think there's any way they would give up an out with a stolen base attempt.
0-1 to Puig. 13 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Now Gaddis is going to go out and talk to Kimbrel. So the Dodgers trying to mount a ninth inning comeback, trailing 3-2. And it began with the leadoff walk to Ethier. The Braves are nearly perfect with a lead after 8. No balls and 1 strike to Puig. Outside.
Kimbrel feeling the heat on the mound. Struggling ball club finally has a chance to win a game at home, and he is in a jam with no outs from a walk and a sacrifice bunt that turned into a hit.
Dodgers 0-42, trailing after 8. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yasiel Puig, Adrian Gonzalez on deck, and Matt Kemp to follow.
Another slider that Yasiel has a chance at. That's not a hanger, but it's a spinner. Cement mixer on the inner half, never took its break. He's had 2 of those to hit, 1 up and 1 just spinning.
One and 2. Ethier at second, the tying run. Gordon at first, the lead run. 9th inning, nobody out. 1 out. 4th time Puig has been struck out tonight.
It won't be about the fastball that he swings and misses at the strikeout that Yasiel will stay awake with tonight. It'll be the 2 sliders he had prior to that pitch that'll keep him awake.
Now it's up to Adrian Gonzalez, who's been solid all year, runners in scoring position, solid his entire career, runners in scoring position. Takes low.
Hard thrower like Kimbrel, Adrian will try and block this ball to left field. He will not open his swing up and try and hit for power here. He'll let Kimbrel supply the power, and he'll just try and get the barrel to the strike zone in time to hit the ball the opposite field.
Gonzalez 0 for 4 tonight, takes inside and low, 2-0.
Yes, he will be swinging 2-0 in here. He's looking for something slightly up and out over the plate.
That's Ethier at second and Gordon at first. BJ Upton a couple of steps toward left center. 98, 2-1.
Approximately where he wanted it, maybe a little up, but 2-0, get it started. Adrian just got underneath it.
Matt Kemp is on deck. Ethier, the leadoff walk here in the ninth, pinch hitting. Gordon, a bunt base hit. 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adrian Gonzalez.
He's had 2 pitches to hit right there. Adrian kind of talking to himself, a little frustration. If you're going to face Kimbrel and you get to a 2-0 count, you're looking for 2 fastballs in kind of the general area. He got them both. Now Kimbrel's kind of got the advantage back in his court because Adrian doesn't know what he's going to throw now.
2-2 to Adrian Gonzalez. Into left field. Drops in for a base hit. Throw to second base. Safe. Ethier had to hold, as did Gordon. So now the bases are loaded.
3rd time's a charm for Adrian Gonzalez. He got the 3rd fastball away and did exactly what we talked about. Get the barrel in the hitting area and let Kimbrel supply the power, and he did. He gets on top of this one, doesn't swing underneath it, hits a bullet to left field, and then Justin Upton picks the wrong base. Ethier was frozen and was a good 3/4 of the way away from third base. Gordon was liberal with his positioning because he had the ball in front of him and has more speed to get back to first. If Upton picks third, I think Ethier is dead to rights.
Instead, Roger McDowell out to talk with Kimbrel.
Watch Ethier, the ball in front of him, and a shorter throw to third or to second, so he had to freeze at a deeper position, and look how far he had to run to third. Upton had him for sure. Johnson calling for the ball.
And now the bases are loaded, and Matt Kemp with a chance to give the Dodgers a lead. 1 out in the ninth. The Dodgers as a team, 179 with the bases loaded. Kemp 0 for 7 with the bases loaded. 3-2, ninth inning. High, 1 ball, no strikes.
Normally you want a pitcher in this situation to make him get it up. Matt Kemp has to be disciplined not to swing at the ball that's up too high. That's the one that Kimbrel can get by you. Make him get it down here.
Ethier at third, Gordon at second, Gonzalez at first, 1 out, ninth inning. 2 balls and no strikes.
Good take by Matt Kemp. You want to be aggressive and be the hero, but be disciplined. It's okay to pass the baton, take the walk, take the tie.
Carl Crawford, 2 for 4, robbed of a hit on deck. 2-1.
Fastball right down the middle, old-fashioned hard ball. Kimbrel wins that battle.
Kemp hasn't had a hit with the bases loaded this year, 0 for 7. To second base. There's 1. There's 2. The Braves hang on and win 3-2 as Kemp bounces into an inning-ending and game-ending double play. For Atlanta, 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. They left 8 men on base. For the Dodgers, 2 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left 9 men on base. So Kemp bounces into a double play. The Dodgers threaten. The bases loaded.